So the first writer I would like to talk about is Mr. James Joyce. James Joyce was obsessed with Dublin. All his work centers on Dublin. He has written this fabulous work called Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man, which features Stephen Dedalus, who is the main character. And the story revolves around how Stephen Dedalus grows as an artist. On the other hand, he has written this wonderful and fabulous work which is called Ulysses, and Ulysses became such an important work that every year in Dublin they celebrate Bloomsday in order to recognize the efforts and contribution of James Joyce. But what we guys don't know is that Mr. Joyce has also written another important work, and that work is based on a European writer, Giambattista's New Science. So Giambattista is a European writer who has written this work called New Science, and this particular work of James Joyce is based on this book. Apart from that, another clue which will help you to recognize this work is that this book has a particular ending. This book ends with the letter the. So the is the last word of this book. Apart from that, another important feature of this book is that this book resembles a vast musical piece. And if you have still not guessed it right, then I would like to tell you that the work is Finnegan's Wake. So the next writer we are going to talk about is Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf has done some tremendous work in the field of stream of consciousness. If you're wondering who has coined the term stream of consciousness, then it is William James who has coined the term stream of consciousness in his work Principles of Psychology. Virginia Woolf has written a lot of novels, especially the most notable one is To the Lighthouse, which is divided in 3 parts and talks about Mrs. Ramsay. Similarly, she has also written another work which is Mrs. Dalloway, which moves across one day in the life of this aristocratic lady, Mrs. Dalloway. But what we guys don't know sometimes is that she is also remembered for a novel that she has written, which is called Orlando, a Biography. Now this novel is dedicated to Virginia Woolf's lover, whose name is Vita Sackville West. Don't get me wrong, Virginia Woolf was married to Leonard Woolf, with whom she started Hogarth Press, but she was in love with Vita Sackville West, to whom she has dedicated the work Orlando. The next writer is D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence has written a lot of works which were critically rejected, especially his work Lady Chatterley's Lover, which was banned due to the obscene scenes which were contained in that novel. Apart from that, he is extremely well known for his autobiographical work, which is Sons and Lover. The Sons and Lover is a story which revolves around mother and son relationship, and it uses a lot of psychological suppressed desires as a part of this theme. What we would like to talk about here is that Sons and Lover ke alawa, D.H. Lawrence has also written a work which is called Kangaroo. Like, very few people know about this work. Kangaroo is a work which was based on his experience in Australia. So he visited Australia for like 3 months, and on the basis of that visit he has written the work Kangaroo. And also he visited Mexico in the last years of his life, and on the basis of his visit to Mexico he has written another work which is Plumed Serpent. I wonder, I have visited so many cities and so many countries, but I never thought of writing a work on the basis of my visit. But that is how great writers used to use each experience of their life in a very fruitful manner. The next writer I would like to speak about is Joseph Conrad. We all know Mr. Conrad because of his work that is Heart of Darkness. Heart of Darkness is a work which was based on Conrad's experience as a streamer. So he worked as a streamer, and on the basis of that experience he has written the work Heart of Darkness. What is important is the last words of Kurtz. In this novel we have Kurtz, who represents colonizer, and this man died dies at the end of the novel, and the last words that he says is horror, horror. So do note that the last words of Kurtz are horror, horror. Apart from that, we know that Mr. Joseph Conrad was a Polish seafarer. So he went on a really long adventures in the sea, in the ocean, and on the basis of those experiences, he has written a work, Mirrors of the Sea. Apart from that, this fellow has also collaborated with Mr. Ford Madox Ford and has written 3 notable novels. So this is a homework from my side that you need to find out which are the 3 novels which were written by Joseph Conrad in collaboration with Ford Madox Ford. If you find the answer, then put that in the comment section below, and let's see how intelligent Indian literature students are. We cannot end our discussion on modern writings without talking about E.M. Forster. E.M. Forster has popularly known for his work Passage to India. Passage to India is a novel which shows relationship of Indians and Britishers, and it has got this beautiful character of Dr. Aziz. E.M. Forster has also written another novel which is called Howard's End, and it is an attack on the business-minded people of that time. The epigraph of this novel is Only Connect, and this epigraph has been asked several times in NET exam. So do remember that Only Connect is an epigraph borrowed from E.M. Forster's Howard's End. What we don't know about Mr. Forster is that he has also written a novel on homosexuality, and this novel was written right after his visit to India in 1912, and the novel is Morris. So if in case you get a question in NET exam asking to talk about or asking to identify correctly the homosexual novel written by E.M. Forster, then I'm sure that this time you're going to answer it correctly because you know the right answer. It is Morris. So this was a short effort taken by me in order to bring in front of you some modern writers and talk about some lesser known works of these writers. I hope that this video will help you in your NET preparation. If you like this video, then don't forget to give it a big fan thumbs up. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel